the red god comes to feed. When the moon is full and watchful above the forest, a fair maiden is taken as a sacrifice to redeem the village. Long ago, before your grandmother's grandmother first drew breath, before men knew how to speak, a red shadow fell upon the mountain at the edge of the forest. No one alive remembers a time before him, the elders say. He was taller than any man, his skin as red as crimson, his body broad and terrible, and from the sides of his head grew horns. His beard was long and white, and his eyes glowed gold with an ancient and restless hunger. When he first walked into their lands, crops withered, drought came, the women miscarried, the goats died. When he lingered near their river, the waters dried up, and when he roared, the ground shook. Fear spread through the land, and in despair, the elders made a decision that would change everything. Each year, on the 14th night of the second month, would offer him their most beautiful maiden, dressed in red and white, tied to the sacred stakes so that he would feed. Afterwards, the rains returned, the crops swelled, the wombs opened, and for another year, the red god would leave them in peace. No one knew what he did to the maidens, but no maiden ever returned, until the year they chose Kiara. Before we continue, let me know in the comments where you are watching from, and hit the like button if you are enjoying this story. The drums began loudly as they tied her wrist to the stakes. Smoke from the torches curled upward and clung to the air. Kiara stood, bound beneath the moon, her red and white garments catching the pale light. The ropes were tight against her skin, but she did not struggle and she did not scream. Then the forest went quiet. A moment later, the sound came, heavy footsteps pressing into earth, and then he emerged, the red god, tall and mighty. The villagers fell to their knees, foreheads pressed to the earth, bodies trembling. He stepped closer to Kiara, his golden eyes scanning her. Kiara did not close her eyes. She did not plead. She simply looked back at him, steady and unflinching. Instead of striking her down as he did for the others before her, the red god reached forward and wrapped one enormous hand around the ropes binding her wrists. He lifted her easily, as though she weighed nothing at all, turned his back on the villagers, and disappeared into the mountains. What happens to Kiara? Stay tuned for the next episode.